short video about Today I Learned. I've never really done a full background lookup of the YouTube channel that used to be known as Jim81Jim, Internet Aristocrat, Mr. Metokur, etc. Did a couple of videos about him, about some of the stuff he covered, but not really about him. Anyway, you can look all that up at links on the internet. I'm not going to be able to add much to it. The one thing I noticed is Metokur is actually based on misspelling mediocre. Yep, that's literally it. That's me-t-o-cur. What happened is they were setting up a website, and it's called mediocre.org, and they it's supposed to be mediocre.org because they were making fun of mediocrities, or maybe it's a reference to some sci-fi movie. I don't know. I don't think it is a sci-fi movie reference. But anyway, the point about this is someone misspelled it, or they couldn't get that spelling because maybe mediocre.org was taken. So this is the best they could do, and phonetically it's me-t-o-cur. But anyway, that's where it comes from. Anyway, that was a website that was up from 2008 to 2012. And if you look up the information about it, I'm going to have a link to the archive of it. It just has an explanation that the website was run by some people who were trying to be what is usually called productive trolls. You can judge whether they were or won't. The only postings left that are available at all basically said that they were running under the idea that they were productive trolls, but they really weren't. The persons running the website at the end of its existence decided that they'd done more harm than good, or they were just trying to make themselves not feel bad about basically harassing people or hurting their feelings or whatever. There's even a reference to a person coming out, but that's got not much to do with the video we're doing today. So, to review, this is Jim81Jim's icon, and the YouTube channel is still up, but all the content's missing, and no one archived it until I just did. Apparently no one had ever archived it, so okay. Then this was the Internet Aristocrat he came in as because he abandoned this channel. Then he was Mr. Metokur as spelled out. And then at another point he decided to switch over to this image, which is a variation on the image from Team Fortress 2, the character named Scout. He obviously removed a lot of the content so that it wouldn't violate any rules. And he also included the old style, if you're not aware of it, the old style rating system that used 5 stars for a video, and he gave himself 3 out of 5 stars. And you might have noticed that the icon here looks like a specific person. Mr. Metokur, a.k.a. Jim, a.k.a. Internet Aristocrat, has never had his real name up. Most people just call him Jim. He'll even sign off that way, so we can just call him that, but that isn't necessarily his name. This here is a person calling themselves Haberman, and the Haberman apparently ran the website that was originally mediocre.org or mediocre.org, and or was involved in it. Some people even rumor that they're both the same person, so of course Mr. Metokur just used his name because honestly, since this guy actually ran the website or was involved deeply in it, there it is. At least that's the meme so far. There's also this image that someone has decided has to be a leaked image of the person. They don't look at all alike. So maybe that was the inspiration of him doing this, saying, that's not me, that's Scout. Hey, I know, I'll use a Scout image. But I'm going to read back something he posted late August, early September 2019. The time and date stamps aren't clear because it was posted to a website that flatly refused to give accurate time and date stamps, even though it takes up the same number of bytes and is not more complicated. Anyway. Walking a tightrope of what is and what isn't is maddening. Basically, just kills any drive I have the entire time you're watching as channel after channel is picked off around you. I woke up today, a few videos were yanked on my YouTube with the typical warnings about rules violations. Within maybe 15 minutes of appealing, I got a response saying the strike was valid and the video wouldn't be reinstated. Same with other videos. At that point, I stopped trying. I just don't have the energy to fuck around with strike appeal, strike appeal, strike appeal bullshit anymore. My solution to YouTube was purging it myself. YouTube can't strike down what isn't there. And then almost as if they were going to go out of their way to screw with him now that he had deleted fucking everything. Redacting, delete fucking everything. You know, blanking in progress. When he had no videos on the channel, YouTube demonetized the channel when it was no content on it for, quote, reusing content in videos. Now, some of you may be aware that I have only 2 YouTube channels left, and I've railed against YouTube for years, flagging us for shit that we haven't done, lying about why they're flagging us, or seemingly going out of the way to flag us for things that aren't really possible for us to do that would be a violation. There's also my claim, and I'll repeat it now, that just like somebody who makes you say, I can't do anything right, and is an abusive person that you're in a toxic relationship with, hint, hint, I state flatly that I believe that YouTube and Google and many other corporations or groups that end up having a position of authority, whether they deserve it or not, whether that was intentional or not, a lot of these organizations with power over people will go out of their way to make a set of rules to deliberately ignore them, because that's a way of rubbing your nose in the fact that they have power over you, because true power comes from not having rules apply to you, to be above the law or beyond any possible sanction or anybody dealing with you. It's an overt, dick-waving contest when someone like Donald Trump can avoid going to jail even for 1 hour for something he's overtly guilty of and should have been locked up for. Tax evasion. Or whatever he's guilty of, or whatever. The point of this is YouTube, Google, Alphabet, parent company, seem to be in that stage of jumping the shark where they're pushing that they can get away with this shit. Now, from my perspective, I'm able to figure out, and I'm going to be more rational about it, YouTube, quote-unquote, flagging me for porn really is flagging me for putting links in. X number of weeks ago or months ago, they started making it to where you had to be a verified account in some way to be able to use links that led off-site. If you didn't, someone would have to cut and paste the link, but they couldn't just immediately click it. Now, most of you are aware of the fact that the comment sections on YouTube have been infected with people literally posting links to websites that install random malware on your computer, or porn sites a lot of the time that may do the same thing. And it's garbage. It's bad. And no one likes it. We all hate it. But I'm not guilty of it. Most of you aren't guilty of it. But the bot is oversensitive to it. At the time this happened to Mr. Metokur, what the YouTube policy was even if you uploaded something that had never been a violation of rules, if you had something that was a violation today, even though you uploaded it 3 years ago, they would give you a strike for violating a policy that didn't exist yet when you uploaded the video. Somehow it's your fault. Again, that seems like a dick move. It seems like they're doing it just to shove down your throat that they can get away with it. And these days, they're obviously going ahead and trying to get rid of spammers and scammers and malware installers by going after any link that could possibly have anything to flag for and using any excuse. And again, they did that to me on a video that's 3 years old or something. Back when it wasn't violating a rule, and back when whatever they were linking to didn't link to something that was a violation at the time. It's completely understandable. They shouldn't have flagged it. And they're sitting on the appeal, even though the strike is still there, and it's been a week and I can now upload, they still won't process it because they're not processing any appeal. So anyway, his commentary on dealing with this bullshit that he was dealing with struck home with me. And also I wanted to make a video because I figured out Metokur just meant mediocre. But I wanted to point out that at his time, what YouTube and Google should have done, let's do 2020's hindsight, especially if you're an ass like me. What should Google and YouTube done at the time? What they should have done is say, Dear Mr. Metokur, a.k.a. Jim81JIM, a.k.a. Internet Aristocrat, we're being harassed by our advertisers, and they're the ones who pay us money. You have content that is a variety they've decided they don't like. Even though it doesn't violate our rules, our hands are tied, and we have to take the videos down. your channel will receive no strikes and you will not be punished because you did nothing wrong and this didn't violate our policies, but we're being harassed into doing this. Now, I know that sounds really oddly reasonable, but that's what YouTube and Google should have done. They should have said, we're being forced to do it. It's cancel culture. We're being raided. Batten down the hatches. And unfortunately, we got to take down your video. Or they could have offered the tool, this is the part of the video, 2 seconds, that violated a rule. Or this is the part of the video where you cussed. Take it out. Or this is a link you had in the description. We're removing it. We're not going to penalize your channel. Just taking it away. What happened is Mr. Metokur, a.k.a. Jim, a.k.a. Internet Aristocrat, the name itself was associated with the Gamergate controversy. I'm not calling it what Wikipedia is calling it now. And right or wrong at the time, he said things that obviously upset people. And they decided to cancel cult him. Now I want to bring up one more thing here that's kind of important, I think. I cover controversial subjects, kinda. I state my opinion most of the time. I offer not my opinion, but corroboratable facts virtually all the time. So I'm doing an opinion video now. Now I want to point out that the mediocre.org website that he named himself after at that point originally started off being a productive trolling group that would harass people who would be cry bullies, who would play the victim. At least that's what their claim was. Later on, someone running the website decided to claim, no, we did that, we were projecting, we were just harassing people, we're the bad guys. But I want to point out that individual videos by Internet Aristocrat really did cross the line and should have been taken down, or not, but it wasn't productive trolling in my opinion. I also want to point out that in many videos he spent maybe 3 seconds doing or saying something that I would consider not productive trolling. But the vast majority of content by this individual, by whatever name he's known, was productive trolling. At worst. And I would have never taken down his channels. No, he's not a neo-Nazi. Yeah, he did edgelord bullshit kind of commentary. I understand that. And a lot of you don't like it. But they shouldn't have done any of these things where they flagged him. And I'm speaking from a position of believing that about my own content, that I shouldn't be flagged, and also understanding why it was flagged. Recently it was flagged because the bot can't differentiate between a link that goes to a website that has something on it with a warning versus it being something that shouldn't be linked to. Those are two different things. I understand that. I also understand YouTube and Google doing crap like harassing people like me and him off the platform for financial reasons. I do not forgive them for not being honest about it and just say, yeah, we're being made to do it. We don't want to do it. They should have said that. I don't have to forgive them for that because I won't. But I want to state that if you get rid of the productive trolls, the people who point out the hypocrisy in people who are holier than thou, whether they're religious fanatics or liberals in Portland who are not wanting to be critiqued, you will only end up with non-productive trolls. People who criticize, who are skeptics, who make commentary videos, are needed, are required. Next, I want to point out shout-outs to my unnamed person who we can call Jim if we want to, for succeeding in not getting doxxed and getting his life totally torn apart. I feel for you. I've worked very hard to make sure I'm not able to be broken into and harassed. And it's kind of only sort of worked. Okay, that's the entire video. And to review, I found out it's mediocre, not Metokur. And I found out he went through something that I've gone through. And I want to point out that, yes, it is harassment. And yes, it's done to push our noses in it sometimes. But other times, it is just YouTube bowing to pressure because they don't have a damn choice. They have to stay in business. And it'd be nice if they were honest about it and stopped acting like a corporation that really reminds us of some sick, twisted ex-significant other that's stalking us. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.